Americans are feeling the economic effects of the war with Iran. This article is by Michael Levinson and read by an automated voice. Less than 2 weeks after U.S. and Israeli forces attacked Iran, Americans are already feeling the effects an ocean away. Gas prices are up, food prices are likely to increase, and volatility in the stock market could threaten retirement savings. President Trump initially said the war would last 4 to 5 weeks, but he has recently sent mixed signals, at times suggesting it could become a prolonged fight. If it does, the fallout for Americans could accumulate. Some experts warned. Consumers could cut back on spending and businesses could stop hiring or resort to layoffs, threatening the broader economy. Here's how Americans are most likely to feel the economic impact of the war. Oil and gas prices. The average price of gasoline in the United States hit $3.48 a gallon on Monday, according to the AAA Motor Club. That is a nearly 17% increase since the first U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran on February 28. Gas hasn't cost this much since 2024. Diesel prices have risen 24% since the start of the war to nearly $4.66 a gallon. Those prices could raise the cost of everything that is shipped by truck, including Amazon packages and food, said Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's Analytics. These prices reflect the surging cost of oil. The international benchmark oil price briefly jumped to almost $120 on Monday, before ending the day below $90 after Mr. Trump made remarks suggesting a shorter conflict. If the price settles at about $95 a barrel, a gallon of regular gas could hit $3.75 or $4 by next week, Mr. Zandi said. There is already significant, serious fallout for the war, he said. Energy prices have been spiking as the war has throttled ship traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway off Iran's southern coast, where about 1/5 of the world's oil is transported. Several refineries in the region have also shut down or cut processing, some after sustaining damage, according to Kepler, a research firm. That means they are turning less oil into fuels like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Mr. Trump, who campaigned partly on lowering the cost of energy, wrote on Truth Social on Sunday that higher oil prices were short-term and a very small price to pay for USA and world safety and peace.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I would like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Blessings and safety to the Lord's elect. And I want to say this, man. This is all going according to Esau's plan. Okay? This is all going according to Esau's plan. Okay? He wants America economy to collapse. Why? Because he wants to introduce the MOTB. Okay? So this is all going according to his plans. He knew that if he started a war with Iran, it would affect the America economy, which it would affect the American people. This is all a tactic, man. Matter of fact, let me get a quick precept before we dive in. All right. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, and I'm going to read it in the KJV, which is on the right-hand side instead of the left. It says, "Let Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices." Now let's read this in the NLT. It says, "So that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes," man. We know this devil to a T. Okay, the Lord created this devil to be one way, and that's wicked. Okay, so this devil can't fool us, man. We know that he's a devil, and we know his MO. Okay. We know his MO. So this thing is going to affect you Americans, man. All right. Now, it says gas prices are rising. Well, why is gas prices rising when before you poked at Iran, before Israel poked at Iran, you just went to Venezuela and took 80 million barrels of gas from Venezuela? Now, when you look at this, right? When you look at this, it says Trump says U.S. has received 80 million barrels of Venezuelan oil. Third taker seized. Now, the fact that Trump said they took 80 million barrels, I'll times that by 7. Okay? Because the devil's a liar, man. Esau's a damn liar, okay? When they say they took less, they really took more. Okay? So 80 million barrels times 7. All right, and I'm just throwing a number out there, man. Okay, because they had a lot of oil in that land, man. Now, let's see how much oil has in it reserves on its own. Okay, don't forget, man. These devils, man, are rich in oil, man. Oil and gold, man. That's their motto. Oil and gold, man. Right? Now look at this. As of 2026, the United States holds roughly 415 to 416 million barrels of crude oil in this strategic petroleum reserve, which is roughly 60% of the total capacity. Additionally, the U.S. has over 439 million barrels of privately held commercial reserves. It says total proved crude oil reserves are estimated around 45 to 55 billion barrels. Okay, so these devils got a lot of oil, man. So why in the hell is the gas prices going to go up? Which, okay, we know that gas is oil, but it has to be refined and used. Okay, but why is prices going to go up when you just took over 100 million barrels from a country right before this war with Israel and America and Iran took place, man? It goes to show you, man, these devils are A, greedy, and number 2, all right, they're trying to cause an economic collapse purposely. All right, they're going to bring Americans down to their knees. So when they introduce the MOTB, you Americans run and take it, man. This shit is over, man. This thing is being engineered, man. All right, and you dumb Americans, man. All right, you're not going to realize it till it's too late. And a lot of these American Edomites, they know what's going on. It's you stupid Jakes, man. All right, you stupid Jakes. Now let's play just a little more of this video.
Narrow waterway off Iran's southern coast, where about 1/5 of the world's oil is transported. Several refineries in the region have also shut down or cut processing, some after sustaining damage, according to Kepler, a research firm. That means they are turning less oil into fuels like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel.
Now, they're turning or refining less crude oil into gasoline, and what else did it says plane fuel and diesel. Okay, now what do that tell you? All right, there's going to be a halt in the imports, okay, which America's a country that imports. Okay, see, this is all done by design, man. A lot of these businesses that were once in America, Esau moved them over there to the other parts of the world, man. First and foremost, for cheap labor, all right, and have made America more of an import country than an export country. See, America used to export a lot back in the day, okay, but now they just import. So this is a plan by design, man. All right, so if they're not producing jet fuel or, you know, diesel or gas, that's going to put a disruption in commerce, bringing in goods, which is going to cause what? A famine. Okay, and we've been telling you this for some time right now, man. Matter of fact, just bear with me. I want to get more precepts, man. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 1. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, man. See, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man, we've been prophesying unto you people that these days were going to come. This devil, he lives by a slogan or a term or a motto. Never let a good crisis go to waste, man. Esau is not going to let this crisis go to waste. You know, I was watching the Apostle Tahar's one of his videos yesterday, and he was watching another brother's video, and the Edomite on there was basically saying that the MOTB will be introduced through this war that's taking place right now. So Esau is not about to let this crisis go to waste, man. He's gonna what word I'm trying to use, man? He's gonna benefit from this thing that's taking place, man. So, all right. So, and I'm gonna jump down. 2nd Ezra 15 and 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, man. So this is Yahweh Shemi Awashai that's bringing it. Okay? This is Yahweh Shemi Awashai that's bringing it, man. Okay? And he's in full control of what's taking place, man. All right, let me grab that. Proverbs 21 and 1, man. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and as rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is controlling the minds of these kings of the earth, man, to make certain decisions and to make certain moves in the world that's going to cause these situations to happen. We're entering into Jacob's trouble, man. We're here. This thing is about to happen. These things are about to intensify, man. These gas prices are about to go up, man. Which means what, man? People still got to go to work. A lot of people are going to lose their job, man. The scriptures say there shall be no work in Egypt, roughly paraphrasing, man. All right? So, matter of fact, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and 22. All right, because hey, man, if there's less gasoline, less jet fuel, less diesel fuel being produced, okay, then what does that mean? There's going to be a disruption in how goods are brought into America. A lot of goods are flew into Babylon. You know, a lot of goods come through by the way of ship. A lot of goods, and once these goods come to America, they have to be moved through America by the way of what? Semi trucks, man, which take diesel fuel. All right. Now, this is 2nd Ezra 6 and 22, and it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. These supermarkets are going to be found suddenly empty. Okay? Which a supermarket or, you know, any business dealing with, you know, food, producing, you know, different products, man, they have to receive 2 to 3 trucks a week to keep up with the flow of traffic, man. Okay? They have to. You know, they have to receive multiple trucks throughout that week to keep things stocked. Okay? If a truck doesn't show up, it affects a business, man. You know, I used to run a business. All right, I used to be a general manager of a company, and if sometimes a truck will have a 1 or 2 day delay, it would affect the company. We would have to go out of product on a lot of things. Customers would get upset. Okay, they will get pissed, man. You would think you violated them. Only you tell a customer, yeah, sorry, we don't have this specific product. They go crazy as if you just offended them, man, or violated them. I'm gonna take my money elsewhere. This is how people act. Okay, so that's gonna cause an issue. That's gonna cause a major issue, man. Okay, the gas prices go up. People not gonna want to drive, and that means public transportation is gonna go up. A lot of people are not gonna be able to afford to make it to and fro to work. This is gonna affect the economy. Okay, people not gonna be able to, shit. Oh, they're gonna start cutting employees. All right, people not gonna have the funds to go to some dispensary, get their their marijuana, or go to the liquor store and get them a drink. People money is gonna start getting tight, and before you know it, these things are gonna vanish away, man. Let's go to the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 14. I believe it's chapter 18. This Revelation chapter 18, verse 14. And it says, "And the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all." And these businesses, they're gonna stop ordering certain things, man. You're not gonna be able to go into a store and find this very specific brand or item. Oh, I don't use vegetable oil. I only use, olive oil or grapeseed oil or pure or coconut oil or peanut oil. But when you go into a store, you might only find vegetable oil. And you might have to settle for that. You might have to settle for corn oil. Okay, my kids are going to eat Fruit Loops. We're not getting Fruit Loops. Hey, you might have to settle for Fruit Rounds, which is all the same shit, man. It's just a different, brand, a different, name used, but it's all the same shit. It's a mind thing, but the point is, these things, these supermarkets are going to be found empty soon, man. Okay, and these things is set to happen, whether they happen now or whether they happen later. These things are going to happen. All right, so the things that were the best things that you loved or used to eat or used to use, you're not going to find these things. So this war is starting to affect. It's going to affect these Americans' way of life, man. Okay, but ultimately, it's Yahweh Shimi Awashade is doing these things, man. All right, and it's going to lead to, of course, it's going to lead to, violence. Matter of fact, we're going to get another precept, and then we're going to listen to the rest of that video. This is 2 Ezra's chapter 15. In the 19th verse, it says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword." This is going to lead to, all-out violence. People not being able to get certain things that satisfy their soul. They're going to go and take it. They're going to go and seek for it, right? It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation," man, which that great tribulation is around the corner. All right, it's right around the corner, man. And people are not going to be able to sustain themselves, man. And they're going to resort to what, man? Stealing, killing, and robbing. You know? It's real, man. All right, let's go back to that article, man, and keep playing. Keep playing it. Because like I said, this is all by design. This is going according to, Esau's plan, man. All right. He wants to introduce the world to the MOTB, man. So this is going to affect the Americans' economy, and he's going to come with the solution. Okay. So let's just keep playing.
By next week, Mr. Zondi said. There is already significant, serious fallout for the war, he said. Energy prices have been spiking as the war has throttled ship traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway off Iran's southern coast where about 1/5 of the world's oil is transported. Several refineries in the region have also shut down or cut processing, some after sustaining damage, according to Kepler, a research firm. That means they are turning less oil into fuels like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Mr. Trump, who campaigned partly on...
And the reason why is because when they produce, when they get this oil, this crude oil, and they have to refine it to, make different things that oil is used in, they have to push that product out. They can't just keep all that product just there. It has to be pushed out. It has to be pushed around the world, man. But Iran is blocking the that area, that trade route area where these ships go through to and fro. Iran is blocking it. All right.
Partly on lowering the cost of energy, wrote on Truth Social on Sunday that higher oil prices were short-term and a very small price to pay for USA and world safety and peace. Food prices. Rising oil and gas prices could lead to modest increases in food prices, said Miguel Gomez, director of the Food Industry Management Program at Cornell University. Difficult to say how much, but there is going to be an impact, he said, noting that many foods Americans buy, like fruits and vegetables, will cost more to import. If ships do not start moving through the Strait of Hormuz in the coming weeks and months, food prices could keep rising, Dr. Gomez said. That's because the Persian Gulf is a major source of the world.
See, we might enter hyperinflation, man. You may see a bag of apples go to $15. Okay? You may see a loaf of bread go to $9, $10. All right? Like I said, this is what Esau wants. Okay? He wants to bring you Americans down, okay, to your knees, all right, begging and pleading so he can hit you with the MOTB, man.
The world's fertilizer. If ships cannot bring fertilizer to market, farmers may use less if they can get any at all. As a result, the world will get less food and it will cost more. With spring planting beginning around the United States, Zippy Duvall, the president of the American Farm Bureau Federation, warned in a letter to Mr. Trump on Monday that farmers were bracing for disruptions in the fertilizer supply and rising prices. If the United States does not prioritize the fertilizer supply, the country...
And I just brought that out. It said, "In the sown places shall appear unsown," going into the farmlands, man. All right. Everything is getting affected through this war, and this is going according to Esau's agenda again.
The country risks a shortfall in crops, Mr. Duvall wrote. Not only is this a threat to our food security, and by extension our national security, such a production shock could contribute to inflationary pressures across the U.S. economy. Airline tickets. Air travel could cost more because of the rising price of jet fuel, Scott Kirby, the chief executive of United Airlines, said last week. While travel demand remains strong, the price of jet fuel, one of the biggest operational costs for airlines, has risen 58% since the start of the war, Mr. Kirby said. It's becoming a lot more expensive to book a ticket and a lot more difficult to find an affordably priced discounted fare. Henry Hartvelt, an airline industry analyst at the Atmosphere Research Group in San Francisco, said on Monday. If the war continues to drive ticket prices higher, sticker shock could prompt some Americans not to fly this spring and summer, Mr. Hartfelt said. Airlines also know that if they push airfares too high, demand will decline, so they are trying to find a balance, Mr. Hartfelt said.
Yeah, man, and that's great, man. And that's great, okay? And that's great because you Americans, man, that's all you thinking about, especially you damn Jakes, man. It's summer, summer, summertime. It need to be an interruption in y'all damn summer, man. Y'all damn spring. Yeah, Jake mind is on spring vacation, okay? They mind ain't on repenting and getting right, okay? And this is why, this thing is gonna overtake them, like in the days of Noah, man. All right. They so distracted, with the cares and affairs of this life, man, and the festivities. I hope I'm pronouncing the word right. Festivities, okay? That's all Jake mind is concerned with, man. Okay? And before they know it, man, they're going to be in the midst of all hell, man, with no way out. All right?
Cloudy economic forecasts. The surge in energy costs has rattled financial markets, leading the S&P 500 and other major stock indexes to drop. If the conflict drags on, then the damage becomes much more serious, Mr. Zondi said. Businesses could cut back on hiring if there is less demand. And if businesses resort to layoffs, a recession becomes more of a threat, Mr. Zondi said. Darren Asimoglu, an economist at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also warned that oil price increases and heightened global uncertainty could hurt the American economy. Since the U.S. does not seem to have a clear exit strategy from Iran, he said in an email, the effects could be long-lasting. Reporting was contributed by Emmett Lindner, Rebecca F. Elliott, Joe Renison, and Sam Sifton.
So, hey, man, it's about to go down, man. And, of course, a person's mind, it's time to stock up on food. It's time to, get this and it's time to get that, and, you Jakes out there, man, your mind should be on repenting and coming back to your Yahweh Shemi Awashah, man. And nothing else, man. And nothing else. All right. Because, hey, man, we're going to need the Lord to protect us in these times, man. All right. And this is Proverbs 21:31. It says, the horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord, man. So safety is of Yahweh Shemi Awashah, man. Okay, he's the one that has to sustain us in these times. Okay, so, your main focus should be on the Lord, man. The scriptures say, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, man. So before these evil times, which evil translate to bad times, before these bad times approach, man, you want to be acquainted with the God of the Bible, man. Okay, and not leaning on your own understanding. All right. The scriptures say, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord and put not off day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perished in the day of vengeance, man. You don't want to take shelter in anything, okay, but the Lord, man. And I'm going to close with a quick precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65:13. And it reads, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed, man. So the Lord's gonna make sure he sustained his believers, okay? Those who trust in him, okay? So, Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. All right? So, I would love to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak with us. Until next time, Shalom.